Hey guys, it's VGT Adam here. It's been a long time since I did a podcast of any sort or even a video. Been a little busy, so hard to do those. But I have some free time now, so I felt I just want to talk about. I just saw Logan, and wow. Okay, so the hype of this movie was pretty big, and all the reviews are doing pretty well. And I went to see the movie last night, and I wouldn't call it like the Dark Knight of Marvel or the Dark Knight of like the X Men films, but it's a pretty damn good film. Uh, like the acting is superb. The action's obviously awesome. The character moments and character development is just it's beautiful. Uh, it's been a while since I've done none of these. Yeah, but it was a really good film. Like I said, it's definitely not like as perfect as people are saying it is. I definitely wouldn't say it's 95%, but it's close. I would say maybe like 90%, maybe like 88 at the lowest. So it's still pretty good, but not as high as they're giving it. Because I feel like it's more of a movie darling. Like if you study movies and how to make movies and stuff like that, that's like a really good example of how to do it, which is probably why the critics like it so much. Uh, I would say for the general public though is that it might be too slow. I found it fine. I found it like perfectly paced because it's like 2.5 hours long. I did not feel like it at all. Um, but I feel like for the casual audience, it's just there to see blood and gore and don't care about how movies are done because they're stupid. Um, they maybe they wouldn't enjoy it. Maybe they would. I don't know because I was I'm a fan and I judge things critically. So professionalism. That's what we do here. Um, but yeah, I saw it, and I do want to go over some points. I think right now, I'll keep the spoilers for later. But yeah, like the main characters, you had Logan, Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart's, Professor X. You had Stephen, what was his name? Stephen. I want to say Colbert. It's not Colbert. Stephen something as a Caliban, and you know, Daphne, whatever that girl's name is for X-23. I'm looking it up really quick. Hang on. IMDb. Stephen Merchant. That was Caliban. Stephen Merchant, and then X-23 is, let's see, Daphne Keane. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, so Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, Stephen Merchant, and Daphne Keane were like the four main ones we had, plus the villains, which kind of forgettable. But they all did fantastic. I say Daphne Keane for being not only like 11, 12 years old and barely having any speaking parts till the second half, managed to keep up with veteran actors, which is pretty damn impressive. Not gonna lie, it's like when she does stuff that legitimately surprises you. Is like, wow, she's acting just like her second biggest acting gig period, and she's acting with people who've been doing it for years, and it's like, wow, that's incredible what she can do. Just trying to get on spoilers yet. I will say the one thing I noticed, and not too many people have seemed to notice, or at least not mention, is that in this film it makes more sense. But the director, Mangold, he seems to like having Wolverine being powered down. Because when he directed the Wolverine, they had the whole thing about he's poisoned, so his healing factor isn't working. And this one's like, oh, he's old, so his healing factor isn't working. There is a legitimate reason. I will get to that, but it makes a lot more sense in this film than the last one. But I noticed that those are big, really important plot points for both movies, and I feel like they just kind of recycled it, which I don't see too many people mentioning. But something I definitely did notice. But yeah, it starts out like it's showing Wolverine all like battered and like, oh, I'm old, don't mess with me, and then it shows that it has a good reason for being rated R. It's pretty bloody starting out, and there is a lot of cursing. I think one of the first words is fuck. So yeah, it definitely deserves that R rating. But it's not gratuitous. Okay, the cursing is a little bit gratuitous, but it doesn't like Wolverine's like all the gore and everything. It doesn't feel as gratuitous because it feels like he's just so battered and tired that instead of just like just stabbing like he used to, which kind of just like dismembering them because like, oh, just get the fuck away from me, I don't want to deal with you ever again, to just killing them right there and then kind of stuff. It gets really really violent. Like it does affect me because I've gotten immune to violence because of the amount of I've seen and played and stuff like that, seen in movies and anime and TV shows and playing video games. Let me rephrase that so I don't get in trouble. Sorry, cops. No, yeah, so it's like that, and so it doesn't feel as gratuitous, but for some people it might be too intense. For me, I was fine, which is like shocked when certain things happen, but it was fine for me. It's still fake, so it's not a big deal. Um, the I like how like they do like give subtle hints about like what happened, and this isn't really technically a post-apocalyptic film. It's technically just a film set more in the future. If anything, it's post-apocalyptic for mutants only, but for humans, they're fine. Human society is still thriving. It's not like Days of Future Past where all the humans seem to be gone and mutants are still fighting back. This is still Earth. It's just the mutants are pretty much gone. Um, but yeah, Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman do a really good job at showing like how much they are just old and withered and don't give a shit anymore, because you have Patrick Stewart's Professor X cursing way more than he ever used to, way more, and doing some legitimately funny moments too, like stuff I didn't really expect. Like besides his rambling because he's got a brain disease and stuff like that, even when he's sane, he's done some pretty funny stuff, and it's really good. It's something you wouldn't expect from the actor. You might expect it, not so much from the character, but it's pretty good. It's pretty funny. Um, so yeah, the whole plot, like not in the spoilers just yet, but the whole plot is just like there's this one woman who wants to get X-23 over the border so she can be safe, and she wants Logan to get her there for her. And Professor X also was communicating with her through his mind, so they want to do that. But then you have the evil company that wants the girl for reasons I won't say just yet, but they just want it for reasons. So the whole point is it's The Last of Us. It's just The Last of Us with mutants. No, but yeah, it was really good though. Uh, what's non-spoilery stuff I can say? Um, there was definitely more funny moments than I was expecting. Like I knew it wasn't giving me like 100% like grim dark, but there were some moments that were unexpectedly funny, and some where the audience thought they were funny but weren't. Like I'm not gonna say how it happened. Let's just say that at one point Logan gets really incredibly angry and starts beating up a truck. And I saw it as this: he's having an emotional moment, emotional breakdown, just trying to way to cope with it. But the rest of the audience is like, "Oh, look, he's beating up a truck. Oh, funny, lol, I'm all for the." I was like, I think I was the only person in the theater not laughing at that one scene. But stuff. Uh, Professional. This is why I write stuff down, because if I'm just rambling, it makes no fucking sense. Um, yeah, it's like if I did like a video review of this, it'd be a lot more concise and a lot more focused. But I'm just it's a podcast. I'm just rambling. Probably won't be a long one. So yeah, and yeah, let's talk about the action real quick. The action, like there's definitely like I remember the director saying like how the ending of the film won't be this big CGI fuckfest. There is still CGI. It's definitely not a fuckfest, but it's more like the CGI like those certain points you can't have a human do that because it's legal or it could seriously hurt them kind of moments. But most of it is pretty practical and it looks really good because of it. There's a couple like wireworks things that look really lame, like whenever Logan or Laura are like doing their pounce on people, you can tell it's wires and it looks really bad. I mean, it's not. I mean, unless you made that CGI, it would it would look it looked better in CGI, but it also you can tell it's fake. Or in real life, you can tell they're actually doing it, but it looks really goofy. Um, but yeah. I should have put down like bullet points for me to go over or something. Um, I guess at this point I can only go into spoiler stuff. So, spoiler warning, because I need to reveal some stuff about the plot and things that I liked and didn't like and stuff like that. So just here's your warning. I'll give you a couple of seconds if you don't want to be spoiled. Okay, so the first thing is that the reason why Logan's not healing is because, well, his healing factor is the one thing that kept him alive from the adamantium being bonded to his bones. Because, first of all, adamantium bonds your bones. You have metal in your bones that should kill you like right away. But his healing factor is what saved him, and the fact that so much metal in his body should give him poisoning, but it didn't. But now at this point, his body is so old and withered that his healing factor can't keep up with the adamantium, and he's actually dying of adamantium poisoning. Because his healing factor, like, it still works. It's just very, very slow. Like, early in the movie, he gets shot from some thugs, and he pops the bullets out just by, like, using his muscles. And then, like, later on in the film, it could have been, like, maybe an oversight, just not giving him the scars, but I feel like it did heal up. It just took, an hour of movie time and probably, like, days in real time. So it still works. It's just very slow. And because of that, the adamantium's kind of like, the poisoning is starting to take over and his healing factor is not working, so he is slowly dying. And then you have Charles Xavier is some kind of brain disease, and they kind of like hinted it was Alzheimer's or some other stuff, but they just pretty much just said, oh, brain disease. So that's slowly killing him. But it seems like he does have it, but he has more control than Logan and Calvin give him credit for. Like he does have there's a couple of moments where like seizures are a big problem because he has a power. His powers are in his mind. Like he uses his mind for power. So if you have a seizure, with those powers, it can kill people. Which that's how actually the X-Men themselves died. Is that he had one of those seizures, and I guess they couldn't get to him in time, and the X-Men died, and Logan kept that from him for the longest time, and at one point he kind of figures it out. But yeah, like those kind of moments, which there's one seizure moment in Las Vegas, which is just, oh, it's awesome. Like it's a terrible situation because you have him almost killing like even normal people, but because like his powers, he's able to stop people. Like if you've seen previous movies, he can use his mind to just stop people from moving. And it does happen here in a different way. Like they're still aware because you can see their eyes move, but they themselves can't move. And then you have Logan like using his claws, like getting from wall to wall to try and get there, and he kills them while they are all like frozen. So they're like stop like in motion. And he stabs them, and they just go, ugh, and they just like slowly move. And it's funny in a very dark way, but it's also really cool how they managed to do that, and it's really good. Laura X-23, like I thought they were just gonna give her the 2 claws because it's like, oh, it's easier to do, but no, they actually gave her the 3rd claw on her feet, which is good. I didn't know they were gonna do that, and made some really good fight scenes. Like I think actually her choreography was a lot cooler than Hugh Jackman's, because Hugh Jackman's just doing punches and maybe a couple wrestling moves, but she's doing like all these like luchador wrestling flips and everything like that, and it's like if Yoda had claws, pretty much. It's really, really cool. And then, like, yeah, it's a lot more, like, there are definitely violent set pieces, but it's a lot slow, because, like I said before, it's more about exploring, like, the character of Logan and how he's dealing with all this, like, the fact that X-23 is technically still a clone of his in this one, but instead of, like, being, I think, a direct Weapon X clone, the whole thing is that they're, the guy, I forgot his name, I don't even know the actor's name, but there's pretty much a guy who wiped out all the rest of the mutants and wanted to breed new ones as weapons. So that's what, if you saw like some TV spots, there's more children at some points. They're all weapons. They all want to be like, he all wanted them to be mutant weapons, and that's what X-23 was. In here in the comics, I think I think it's something similar, but she's a clone. But they also leave out the part, thank God, where she was a prostitute. Thank Christ, because this actress is younger than X-23, and even then X-23 wasn't legal in the comics. But anyway, yeah, so she's like, she's supposed to be a weapon. So he killed all mutants. He's trying to kill all mutants, and you do that. But then, if they get across the border, they never really said actually like why being across the border, going to Canada, would make them safe. The only thing I can think of is just border laws and country laws and building walls. I think that's what it is. They never really explained why going across the border would make them safe. I feel like that should have been really important because they kept saying, oh, when you get to the border, get to the border, get to the border. You never really said why. I think it's just like legal stuff, like hidden legal stuff they didn't really feel like you needed to explain, but I think they kind of did because it's a little vague as to why crossing the border will automatically make them safe. I mean, these people are already doing tons of illegal stuff. What's stopping them from doing more illegal stuff, in another country? What else? Yeah, okay, so here's the thing is that I was looking at it from a critical standpoint, and I'm usually pretty good at, like, guessing plot points, but because I was looking so critically, those plot points kind of snuck up on me. Like, I still guessed them, but they snuck up on me, and I should have been a lot faster seeing it, but the first thing was that, X-23 can talk, it just doesn't happen until two-thirds into the film, and she speaks both Spanish and English. I saw that coming, I should have seen it coming faster, but I did see it coming. But it is, cool to know that, she's not just mute the entire film, and she actually can act, and, like, by the end, the actress is, doing a really good crying scene. Like, you can tell it's real because you have that disgusting snot coming out of the mouth, which, ugh. I mean, it's played for, drama, you need crying, and, snot comes out of the mouth. Snot comes out. Oh boy, okay. Snot comes out the nose and drips down the mouth, so you can tell it was actually her doing it. But I'm glad they made her talk, and the fact that she can act so well. It is pretty much an emotional scene. I'll get to why she's crying later. You have that one part you see where the gang is picked up by some nice folk, some nice country folk, I guess. I don't know, not country, maybe just like out of town folks, I guess, because their horses got off the road and Charles actually used his powers without going insane to help the horses get back and decide, hey, let's keep these guys over. And it was a really nice family moment that really showed that this is what Logan really does want, but he's also right in the fact that every time something like this happens, people die. And sure enough, the family dies. This innocent bystander family that had done absolutely nothing wrong dies. Spoilers. Well, this is a spoiler section, so. Um, there is one point where Charles Xavier does die, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can see this coming by the fact that if you just look through the trailers and everything, you could see, like, they bury somebody and they don't show where Xavier is, and he's actually not, like, he's in the trailers, but he's not in too many moments, so you could probably see, you can probably see that coming, that he's gonna die. It's just the fact that he died seeing, quote unquote, Logan kill him, which I thought was a dream at first. It's not, I will get to that. I thought at first it was a dream until I realized, wait, no, Laura's waking up and sees this Logan person killing him also. It's like, oh, that's not a dream. What the hell? And, yeah, he dies. His last words are mumbled, so it was hard to tell what he said. That happens a lot sometimes. Whenever they're sad and trying to be quiet and dramatic, you just can't hear what they're saying, and I think it's important to hear what they're saying, and they don't do it. But yeah, Charles dies. Logan dies. That's the big thing where she was crying over, is that he actually, in his last big fight, which I'll explain who he's fighting in a second. In his last big fight, he's sustained too many injuries. He can't heal enough, and he got a really mortal blow, like straight to the heart, pretty much. And he's just dying, and she's crying over it. And it is a really sad scene because not long after they bury him, the movie just ends. The movie's just over. I thought maybe there'd be some there's no post credit scene either. I thought there'd be maybe some kind of post credit scene where you see him and he finally sees all the X-Men, when they're all together again, and if you want to be very sweet and stuff, they're all together in heaven, blah blah blah. But I thought there'd be something like that where they're all together again, but no, there is something before the movie. It's a teaser for Deadpool 2, but it's so out of left field and clashing with the rest of the movie, and didn't really feel the need to talk about it. I thought there'd be a post credit scene, but there wasn't. But yeah, he just dies, and I do like his line though. He just goes, So this is what it feels like, which makes sense because he wouldn't know what it's like to actually die. But yeah, that's the big thing, is that he dies. So it's like, oh, if Logan could come back, I mean, only in flashbacks, because at this point he's dead and he's not coming back. And then the one thing I want to talk about was X-24. Now, X-24 was never in the comics. That's something exclusive to this movie, but it's basically a 100% Wolverine clone, but take away his personality, and it's just like the rage. And I think Hugh Jackman plays X-24 also. It's just hard to tell because they never take enough time to actually focus on the face, because it seems like they're just trying, you can tell when they're fighting together there's a body double, but it seems like whenever it actually is just X-24 on screen, they barely show his face, but I think it is Hugh Jackman playing him still. Yeah, I think X-24 was kind of, I see why they did that, but it's definitely one of my biggest problems with the film, because they do foreshadow it. They show when the backstory of Laura is being shown and all the weapons and everything, they show something else being made in terms of a weapon, and they give me us hints that it's similar to Wolverine, and I'm thinking are they making another Wolverine clone? I think they're making another Wolverine clone. I don't know if he's going to come into play, and he does come into play. He's the one who kills Charles in a very weird way, because if that thing's full of rage, he killed Charles in a very quiet way, which is weird. But yeah, I can't even talk. He can just growl and everything like that, and roar and roar. But yeah, the reason I feel like X-23 is X-24. Sorry, X-23 is fine. The reason why I feel like X-24 is unnecessary, because I feel like it was literally made just to give Wolverine a physical opponent to end on. Because in that final bit, he's just fighting the evil organization that's after the kids and everything like that. And I feel like they probably thought, oh, we can't have him just fight, just fight this and then somehow die. We need some kind of equal adversary. And the main problem I have is that they already did that in X-Men Origins Wolverine and Sabretooth. As shitty as that movie was, they still did have that whole thing about similar people fighting. and the fact that they made Wolverine look very similar to Sabretooth, he's got the shaved head and everything. So I feel like he was just added into the film just to give Wolverine like the proper villain to actually fight and to kill him, because he's the one who offs Wolverine. I mean, they do manage to kill him. He had the Logan had the adamantium bullet that he was gonna commit suicide with, but never did. And then Laura steals and shoots X-24's brains out, which is a great fucking moment. Yeah, I think, because I think that foreshadowing was really rushed, is because it was the only bit of foreshadowing I can think of. And then it's just like, oh, X-24, oh, okay, all right. And like, he's barely even in the movie. He's in 2 scenes. So it's like, it really feels like they just put him in there. I will say though that the family dying, like, it was sad, but the main father figure, like, after shooting X-24 tons of times, he goes to shoot, like, he's attempting to shoot Logan, and he actually does pull the trigger. It's just empty. And like, you know what, in that situation, I can understand. It's not gonna be like, oh, I just met this guy, we're automatically friends. No, he's still, I mean, he literally dies right after he pulls the trigger. But it does make sense that he just plops over and dies. I'm sorry, it makes sense that he does pull the trigger, because it doesn't matter if he just met the guy. He's seeing someone who looks similar like him, and the fact that he also saw Wolverine get stabbed so many times and is still standing up, is like, yeah, this guy's not human. I'm gonna shoot him. Oh wait. Blech. I will say though that the villains are kind, like, the heck, like, okay, the blonde guy, I don't know his name. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. He has a great personality. He's incredibly snarky, and I love snarky characters. But I don't, like, he's not a memorable guy. It's not something that's gonna stick in my head. And then the main guy behind the corporation, like, he explains why he killed mutants, which is a really stupid reason. Oh, we're gonna kill them just to breed new ones. What the fuck? But yeah, he was also, like, not really that memorable. I would say though that Laura surprisingly does steal the show, because of the fact, like, she's like I said before, she's with these veteran actors, yet she's able to do such incredible stuff, and it's like, wow, she's really holding her own. And I think the main reason why I don't see it as a Dark Knight is because Dark Knight came out at a time where comic book movies were only starting to get taken seriously, and it showed that wow, you can actually take this ridiculous idea, put it in a realistic situation, have it be actually good. And that came out, I think, before Iron Man, maybe after Iron Man, but it came out around the time, like, it made comic book movies serious, and like, it's like a force to be reckoned with, and showed what comic book movies can be, which is why The Dark Knight is so good. This one, them comparing it to it's not as much as a game changer. I could see like, it's a game changer for maybe some films. The fact that maybe now studios could take more risks being rated R, and like, get away with a lot more stuff, and it still be a good movie. But I don't think this one's too. I think after Deadpool, I think Deadpool was more of a game changer in a certain way. I don't think Logan was as much of a game changer. So I'm not saying compare Deadpool to The Dark Knight, but I mean, I don't think you should compare this one either. I think it's a really bad comparison. But I see what they're going for with that. But yeah, it is a good movie. I'm really glad I saw it. Like I said, I did have problems with the whole fact that, like, X-24 seems a little rushed. And they couldn't find, like, a better way for Wolverine to go out. I mean, like, him dying made sense, but I think he died too sudden. Like, it's just like he dies, they bury him. You think maybe they'll have a little left? Like, after they bury him, no, it's credits. Like, oh, okay, it's just over. All right. And it did have, like, those, like, I enjoy the slow moments, but I feel like there'll be some people who'll be like, oh, when's this gonna get back to the violence? And then, yeah, I really should have written stuff down for this just to go over in a certain order, but I just want to talk about this. But yeah, it is definitely a really good film. It deserves that R rating. The violence is, great, and I'm glad they actually showed this is what Wolverine's supposed to be. This is how violent he always is. I don't think it's as violent as the Origins of Cage Edition game, but this is a pretty violent movie. So yeah, so I guess the pros is that the acting was good, the character development was well done, the story is well done, the action is great. It was paced fairly well until the ending, and a lot of memorable scenes. The cons is that the villains aren't really too memorable. The main bad guy seems very forced, and there are a couple things. I think what was one more thing that I didn't like too much? Oh yeah, there's the send off to him is like earlier in the movie they show Laura and Charles watching a movie from like the God, I don't even know, 60s, 50s, I think, I don't know. But they show a movie and the character recites the lines again. The problem is that she's reciting them line by line, and it kind of like it's a sad moment, but it's a little narmy. Like if I feel like if she kind of altered it a bit, like or at least in the script that they wrote it a little differently, it could have been better. But she's like reciting this thing for Logan's eulogy, and it just does not fit. Oh yeah, the truck. After they barrel charge Xavier is when Logan starts hitting the truck and everything because he's angry, and I thought that was a really sad moment. But people in the audience are like laughing like, oh, he's beating up a truck. It's like he just buried his pretty much his father figure in a way, and he's beating up a truck out of anger, and you guys are laughing. Wow, okay, assholes. But yeah, it definitely was a good movie. I would say go see it. I'm not gonna say like it's the greatest comic movie of all time, but it is a damn good movie. Actually, you know what? It doesn't really feel. I guess I can see now why, because it doesn't feel like a comic movie. It feels like a good movie that just happens to have superheroes in it or mutants in it, I guess. But I wouldn't say it's like as phenomenal as people are saying. But I still say it is pretty damn good. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Logan. So I will have more videos coming. Just been a little busy. And I know it's only 14 subscribers, so nobody really cares. But I just thought I need to say it. So, yeah. It's a good movie. Go watch it.